decide, okay, which are the big priorities in my life, and I'm not going to, have you read that book by Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the other one is Stumbling on Happiness.
Stumbling on Happiness.
They actually had a study on about the art students, and they had to. One of them had to keep the painting they draw, and one of them had the choice to exchange it. And the ones that had the choice to exchange it, they were not happy because they were thinking, oh, maybe the other one is better. So.
Right. So there is a concept called hyper-choice. So if you have too many choices, then it can actually kind of lower your happiness levels because you're not sure if you pick the right one, the one that's closest to your ideal point, and so on. So in some ways, it can be a curse to have too many choices. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you might want to avoid that situation. I think the important thing there is not to be what's called a maximizer, right, and be a satisficer instead. Mm-hmm. So Maximiser is somebody who in every situation is trying to improve it even further. Okay, so it's good to be a maximizer if you're in customer service or in marketing and you're constantly trying to come up with a better product and so on, which might be your job. Okay, but if that maximizer tendency is kind of also something that manifests itself in other contexts. Let's say that you go to a wedding and you ask yourself, why am I sitting at this table? Can I get a little bit closer to the bride? Or, why am I being served a little bit later? There's a little bit of a spot on this napkin here and so on. So in some situations, it's better to be what's called a satisficer. A satisficer is somebody who sets up a certain level of aspiration or wanting a goal. And then as soon as the first option exceeds that level, they just say, I'm happy with this, I'll just take this, okay? Rather than looking at further and further improvements to every situation, okay? So that's a good thing to adopt. I'm not saying that you should get rid of the maximizer tendency. It's useful in some contexts, but you have to be in control of which of these two tendencies you're displaying in any moment, rather than that tendency controlling you as a default, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.